WhiskyJason here, whiskey from the viewpoint of an American in Germany tasting rare and exotic whiskeys. This is the second of three, well maybe four, of the French oak collection here from Tomatin. Today I'll be talking about Sauternes Cask. I have already done a video about the Rivesaltes, and I will be doing, the next one after this will be Malt Casks, all French wines that I do not know that much about as I would like to. Well, I do know that Irish whiskey is an up-and-coming thing, and therefore I thought it'd be interesting to compare a Tomatin to a Teeling sommelier's selection, which was also Sauternes, 46%. 46 euros compared to the 80 euros over here. Now this is a Irish whiskey, which means it's not a single malt unless it says it. And so I do not expect this to do just as well as this. One of my things I'm trying to do is to remember certain taste profiles. What do I mean by that? Maybe remember actually studying for like a vocabulary test. And the way I did it, I'd have on the one side, then the English, and the other side the French or the Spanish. Did not learn German in school. Ended up in Germany, which is really a unique twist of fate. And yeah, and so I would always cover them up. Other people use flashcards, and you really try to get that information into your brain. And what I'm trying to do is trying to get in my brain, what is a Sauternes finish? Just like I have done with sherry. I went through the different types of sherries, the Pedro Jimenez, the Oloroso, the Manzanillas, the Amorintados, and so on, that I can kind of, Palo Catado, could try to taste and go, oh, okay, that's this thing. What I'm doing here is the same thing. Sauternes is something I have every once in a while. Zum Beispiel the Glenmorangie, Nectar d'Or. That is about 55 euros. This is about 46 euros. This is about 80 euros. So we have different things at different quality levels and different price levels, apparently. And so I'm trying to get a hold of this. So on the nose. Now, if I were to describe Sauternes, I would describe it as a white grape juice that is starting to ferment a tiny little bit, starting to turn on you with a lot of sweetness. And the sweetness for me is a marshmallow sweetness. So I'm going to disgust you a little bit. Take a good white grape juice, put marshmallows in it, cover it up, and come back in about 2 to 3 days. It hasn't started molding yet, I hope, but it has starting to ferment that sugar and that thing in there. And then have it down in the basement, in the moldy basement a little bit. Ta-da! That's what my description of is what my brain thinks of when I smell something with Sauternes. I am totally off from what normal people think of, but hey, that's okay. The finish is wonderfully sweet and fresh with a syrup mouthfeel and indicative of the Sauternes wine finish that once occupied the cask. The sweet honey continues on the palate, accompanied by coconut and ginger. And it says, this whiskey brings a burst of peach and apricot on the nose, calmed by rich Manuka honey. Wow. Great descriptions. I love the transparency of Tomatin. Online, I can find out that this was distilled on the 19th of September 2008. It was moved to the Sauternes Cask on the 13th of July 2017, and it was bottled on the 29th of March 2021. I do know that it is Whiskybase number 182536, and as I mentioned, 46% non-chilled filtered, no color added, and 80 euros. Over here, I'm getting more of a different note. Yes, the Sauternes is still there, but what I get here is the grain butteriness of, I would say that this was from corn grain and not wheat grain. Might be wrong. Okay. And this smells younger. No age statement, 12 years. So we're going to have a little bit of difference there as well. All right, let's go for it. I'm learning to like Sauternes cask finishes more and more. Now, The Glenallachie 12 was 20 euros cheaper and tasted better. What I don't get is this milk bulnatic acid moment as much. It's a creamy, honeyed, I talk about white grape marshmallow moment. I might get a tiny little of ginger in there. What I don't get, what they're mentioning, is the apricots and the peaches, and I do not get the coconut, personally. But I'm a little bit coconut. I'm blind here, and banana blind as well. Perfectly integrated, the 46%, wonderfully accented the alcohol together with the entire spirit. It's a very holistic moment, a very comprehensive, conclusive, wonderful taste. Tiny little variations in here. Wonderful, nice. I'm going to give this actually a C++. It's not up there for the B- yet. Maybe one day when I like Sauternes more, it would be there. If you give me something else from a port or from rum, or maybe, I'm not sure about the rum, port, or from the sherry, I'd probably prefer that more. Or a good bourbon, matured, ex-bourbon matured whiskey. All right, going over here to our Teelings, Sauternes wine cask, small batch series, 46%. Dawn-chilled filtered, no color added. Much, much accessible price. The spirit, the whiskey itself, is not as high class. There's a little bit of bitterness towards the end. There's some old casks involved here, in my personal opinion. It's more of a drier, I was going to say mineral, almost metallic moment here from the youthfulness. This is so much better. This is a C-, maybe just a C-. This is a C++. Value for money, C-, here, the 46 euros, about the same. Interesting. Now, I've tried these two. I've showed you my recommendation, the Glenallachie 12. The Glenmorangie, maybe even for 55 euros, is cheaper. Also, does it still have an age statement or not? It does not. I think they killed the age statement a few years ago. And so it is a no age statement. But I like it as well. And the question of the day is, what other good Sauternes cask finished whiskeys have you had? Wow, there's a lot going on. It's kind of tickling my fingers that I'm going to do a blind tasting with 6 different Sauternes cask finished whiskeys, and then do it blind and see which one I like the best. If there were just more time and more liver and more more available whiskeys out there sometimes, who knows? Learning, living, and trying to memorize the different types of flavor profiles here. And by the way, if anyone else has a good flavor profile memory trick, please write it down in the comments. That would interest me. All the best. Thank you very much for liking, for subscribing, for telling others, for sharing maybe on other social media platforms about the Tomatin Sauternes, which I like. All the best. See you soon. Number 3 is coming soon. Bye-bye.